Okay, there's something else I want to add on to the end of tutorial number 3, and that's a little bit of information about the texture browser. Now, the texture browser is covered a little bit later on. We'll show you how to apply textures to surfaces, but I want to cover the actual texture browser interface. Now, you can load up the texture browser in two ways. You can either press View up on the top and then choose Texture Browser, which will bring it up, or you can press the T key on the keyboard. Now, pressing the T key on the keyboard or using the texture browser link up in the view menu will bring up the texture browser. You can see we can scroll through all the textures here and select the ones we want to use. Now, when you first start up Radiant and you've not got a map loaded, you'll probably see this. You'll probably just see a blank window. You may see one or two textures. You may even just see this. But this is simply because you don't have the package, a package selected to see what is contained within it. Now, it's really simple to select texture packages. Over here on the left we can see all the textures that are included in Alien Arena. So you just double click into a package and it will load the textures up like so, and then you can just scroll down and have a look through and preview the textures that are available. Now, one thing I must mention, you can see here that we have bricks 1, then we have a couple of other textures that apply to this. We've got bricks 1 HM, bricks 1 NM, and bricks 1 SM. Now, you should always use the texture without a subtend and letters on the end. So for example, here we use bricks 1 rather than using bricks 1 HM, NM, or SM. And the reason being is that this is the texture you use, would be bricks 1, and these textures, height map, normal map, and the SM, are actually brought in automatically by the game at game time. Now, these are height maps, normal maps, etc., and what they will do is they'll give your wall depth and give it some type of 3D look to it. So you should never use a height map or a normal map as part of the texture. You should always use the original texture, for example bricks 1. So if I was to just create a wall, a small brush here, and let's find that in the window. Okay, you can see it's got the bricks applied. Now in game that would actually display with like a 3D bump, so these bricks would actually look like they're sticking out a little bit from the wall. It gives a really cool effect in game. Now what you don't want to do is select the height map texture or anything like this, because as you can see it's just black and white, and although you may think, oh well that's cool, I want a really cool looking pink blue wall, you know, don't do it, because it ain't gonna work properly. It's gonna look pretty bad. So the message there is to always load up the texture without any subtend or underscore, whatever you want to call it, and avoid avoid using that and letters with HM and NM after the subtend. Another example a little bit further down this list is Ice Rock and Ice Rock 2. You can see we've got Ice Rock 2 NM and Ice Rock NM. The one you'd use would be Ice Rock or Ice Rock 2. You wouldn't use these normal maps because it won't render properly in the game. Going a little bit further into the texture browser, we can click View up at the top and we can hide all unused textures, so it will only bring up the textures that we use within our map, which will keep the whole map uniform. If we want to flick to find a different texture, we'll simply double click into another folder, and if we want to go back just to see which textures our map actually uses, again View and hide unused. Okay. We've also got some other options here, flush, reload shaders, find and replace, which will allow you to perform them options, so you can reload all the shaders within a given package. Or we can mass replace textures by using the find replace. We can within selected brushes only, so we can type in our find key and our replace key, and we can replace them textures just by hitting the apply button. And that's about all you need to know on the texture browser.